What's up, gang? What's up, gang? What's up, gang? It's Wizzle, and we back with another one. Big back reactions. We doing the weirdest, creepiest, and scariest TikToks. Debunking them hoes. Feel me? All the phony looking ones. We gonna find out if they real or if they fake. You feel me? And then for all the scary ones, we watching them together. So we good, gang. You feel me? But without further ado, we about to jump right into this motherfucking first video. Don't forget, if y'all want to send me videos, the email is down in the description. Alright? Now we about to get into this first video. Let's go. What is this, bro? Bro, I for one don't know what's up with that last video. Now it's obviously something somebody made, but how did it get up there and how do they got it doing it? Like, it was literally tightrope walking. And like, what wire is that high for it to tightrope walk on? Somebody let me know what's going on down in the description, please. Bro, AI is literally getting crazier and crazier. Like, I could tell that was AI, but it still was a weird video. Let me know what y'all think about that one.
Is another example of seem to break reality and give you a headache at the same time. CCTV cameras in this building caught this man going up the stairs, yet still what happens next is a pure glitch in the matrix. He accidentally walked below the tiles on the floor. This is impossible, but we saw it happen for ourselves and was caught on camera. The man in the video also realized for himself what just happened. He walks backwards and tries it again. Did he just break all the rules of science right before our eyes?
What?
Is another example of something that can seem to break reality and
I'm not even gonna lie. Bro, that was just crazy as hell. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. Like, how did he do that? Bro, that was crazy. My nigga, do you see the barrier, the white? He backed up and then walked over it. How? That's crazy. What y'all think about that last video? Y'all think that was a real mermaid? I ain't gonna lie. I think it could be real. It looked a little official to me. And then those videos before, that attraction, I don't know what that was, but it looked like the inside of a mouth. And then the one before that, bro, these AI videos is getting out of hand, bro. Like real shit. They getting so out of hand, bro. That's all it's gonna be. It's just those. It's not even like those type of videos is starting to replace the actual weird videos. So sooner or later, it's not gonna be no real videos. It's gonna be those type weird videos, like created AI fake videos. But let me know what y'all think down in the comments.
My brother just tried framing me again, so yeah, good times.
This disturbing video was posted to TikTok, and in it, a man named Marcelo describes hurting his brother after an argument in which the brother had accused him of being a vegan. Now his TikTok has since been banned, but apparently commenters believe this to be some sort of sick joke, when in fact it wasn't, and he's currently sitting in jail awaiting trial. Now I did find an update explaining that his brother is now in stable condition, but here's part of his disturbing confession.
He took out his phone, tried framing me for being a vegan again. Says, yeah, you're a Satanist, a devil worshiper, all this and that, called the cops on me like a bitch. So I shot him. Anyways, he has a criminal conviction, has fled Ecuador for being, does laundering, everything, I guess. He uses fear-mongering tactics, and I guess right now I'm probably gonna die because he lied again. So yeah, that's my brother for you.
Now I personally never saw this on my For You page, but judging by the comments about it, I can only imagine what people were thinking. But regardless, this will likely go down as one of the more disturbing TikToks ever recorded.
Bro, he shot his brother. His brother, bro. He shot his brother. And then, did he not say the brother tried to frame him for being a vegan? Then gonna call him a devil worshiper? Man, he could have just gave him a couple. You know what I mean? He could have just, bro. But he shot him. Bro, that's wild. That's all I'm gonna say. Let me know what y'all think about that down in the comments.
4th, 2023. The house had 2 Ring cameras, one above the garage and the other was a Ring doorbell camera. Around 10 p.m., a man in a red jacket and another person just behind him are shown walking up to the house's front door. Before knocking or ringing the doorbell, the man in the jacket immediately starts trying to break down the door.
Damn.
The Ring camera falls to the ground from the impacts, but the door itself doesn't budge. After those few seconds, the man walks around to the house's side door and again immediately starts trying to break it down. By this point, the homeowner had woken up in a panic and was checking their camera's feed for an explanation. They noticed their doorbell camera on the ground, and so they switched over to their other camera. As the banging noise rang out throughout the house, they could now see what was causing it. The homeowner's voice coming over the speaker was enough to scare the 2 men off. Police were called out to the property. When they reviewed the footage, they noted that one of the men was armed. What these 2 men planned to do with the people inside if they had successfully broken in is unknown. It's unclear if they were ever identified by police. This clip was captured at 3 in the morning on April 9th, 2023. It happened in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The homeowner was sleeping when the clip was recorded. It wasn't until he woke up and saw a notification on his phone that he found out about it. He reviewed the footage, horrified. This is what he saw. A woman is shown trying multiple different keys to get into the house and even looking around for a hidden one. The homeowner claimed that he had never seen this woman before. He said that she later started throwing rocks at his car and trying those locks. It's likely she was under the influence of something. Multiple times she tries to insert keys into the doorbell camera itself. After a few minutes she walks off and was never seen on the property again. Her intentions are unknown. Footage was captured in Flint, Michigan on April 24th.
She obviously was high off of something. I don't know what it is, but she was busted. Bro, they said she even tried to put the keys into the camera. Like what? Man, she lucky somebody ain't come out there straight. Can't be playing with people like that. That's why I tell everybody they need to be straight up. That was crazy. Like, what would have happened if they would have got inside the house? You feel me? Could have ended bad. Let me know what y'all think about that down in the comments.
Just a few hours after this video was recorded, the young girl pictured in the video would be dead. So this story is incredibly tragic and happened in March of 2024. This is Manvi, a girl from the Punjab region in India. In March of this year, Manvi was celebrating her 10th birthday, and her family pre-ordered a cake from a local place called Cake Kanha. So as you can see at the beginning of this clip, they ended up eating the cake for Manvi's birthday, and they all seemed to be enjoying it. But shortly after eating the cake, Manvi and her sister started violently throwing up. After they had vomited for a while, Manvi then started to complain of a dry throat. She was very thirsty and tired, and she went to bed. Sadly though, Manvi's condition grew worse and worse throughout the night, and in the morning when her parents decided to rush her to the hospital, it was too late, and she was declared dead shortly after arrival. This is the cake in question. Now, according to reports I found online, sections of this cake were sent in to investigators to be tested. The family believes that this was a food poisoning case, and that somehow the bakery had included a toxic or poisonous substance inside of the cake, but I couldn't find any further information about what ended up happening. But it's clear with Manvi and her sister growing violently ill, the entire family got ill after consuming this cake, that it was related to this baked good. If you want to hear more true crime stories, listen to the podcast Murder in America that I co-host with my wife Courtney. It's available on all streaming platforms.
It's crazy, bro. A freaking cake. A cake. Now, who knew that was going to happen? Nobody. But do your homework on that company, that bakery, bro, because that was just diabolical. It's crazy that baby died from that cake. Rest in peace to her, and prayers go out to the family, man. Let me know what y'all think about that down in the comments.
These are the most unusual deaths ever. A 26-year-old man from New Hampshire had a very bad case of snoring. So he attempted to cure his snoring by shoving tampons into his nostrils while he slept. So one night before bed, he stuck the tampons in his nostrils. Later that night, his partner tried to wake him up, but something was wrong. He wasn't breathing. It turns out he suffocated in his sleep from the tampons, and the sleeping pills he was also on added to the breathing difficulty. Next, a doctor from Houston, Texas named Hitoshi Nikito was killed after his head was trapped in an elevator door. At the hospital he worked at, he was partially decapitated as the elevator ascended, and he also had injuries to his ribs and spine. There was also reports that he was drunk, but it's not confirmed. Next, 21-year-old Josh Hutcherson was driving home drunk with his 23-year-old friend Francis Bromes. Francis was hanging out the window puking when Josh drove off the road and sideswiped a telephone pole, which Francis hit and completely decapitated him. Josh then drove home and went to bed, and his neighbor found the headless body of Francis in his back seat.
Dude stuck tampons up his nose and then took sleeping pills. Rest in peace to him. But the doctor that got his head crushed in the elevator. Oh man. Man. That is a bad way to go. A bad way to go. Let me know what y'all think about them down in the comments.
She feels like a real baby. That's because she has tiny bones inside.
February 2022, an urban explorer makes his way down a long-forgotten dirt road somewhere in rural China. His ultimate destination was a dilapidated structure shrouded in mystery for both him and all others in the region, with many referring to it simply as a laboratory. But what kind of laboratory was completely unknown. This did little to deter the man. In fact, the mystique of this building made the location even more tantalizing, as it would make for the perfect setting for a video on his TikTok page, perhaps the one that would finally thrust him into the public eye. And as he walked down that old dirt road, he believed that each step was taking him closer and closer to uncovering that building's original purpose. But what he'd find in that old laboratory wouldn't be answers. In fact, he would be left with far more questions, as the video he would go on to post would leave hundreds of thousands of people horrified, disturbed, and in many cases, scarred for life. With the clip setting off what may very well be the darkest mystery to ever unfold on the site, and perhaps one of the most disturbing in the entire history of the internet. Before we fully get into things here, do you have any idea how many subscriptions you are currently paying for? I didn't until I was introduced to today's sponsor, Rocket Money. Rocket Money is an all-in-one finance platform that allows you to save more and spend less. This personal finance app allows you to manage subscriptions, lower bills, build a custom budget, and grow your savings all in one place. Rocket Money has saved me over $100 by canceling unwanted subscriptions that I completely forgot I was paying for, while also helping budget my spending by creating a spend-to-earn ratio, a tool that I use monthly to help me feel more in control of my finances. And with this, I've been using their Smart Savings feature, a tool that automatically deposits savings into a savings account with an amount and frequency that I set beforehand. So if you'd like to save more and spend less, join the 3.4 million members using Rocket Money by going to rocketmoney.com/Crowley or by clicking the link in the description to get started for free or to unlock even more features with premium. That is rocketmoney.com/Crowley to get started for free and to get your money right in 2023. Of all the cases I've covered in the world of internet oddities and mysteries, this one is probably the most unique, as the contents of this mystery involve videos that can barely be broadcast in any capacity, due to just how disturbing they are. And although I'm sure some of you will be disappointed that the videos themselves are not shown in their entirety, I can assure you that these clips are ones that you don't want to see. And on that note, let's go back to that old dirt road. The location was one of many examined by this explorer who goes under the name Beanbag Adventures on Douyin, the original Chinese version of TikTok. And for the sake of this video, his real name will not be disclosed as he's never made it publicly available, so I'll just be referring to him as X. X's channel features a multitude of creepy locations left to the mercy of time and isolation. But of all the places he would go on to visit, he could tell immediately that this one was going to be different. As he entered the structure, he was greeted with an overwhelming stench that covered the building in its entirety. The mask he wore helped block out some of the smell, but not nearly enough to make it a pleasant experience. Noticing this, X immediately began to suspect that something was off, as he roamed the halls of the lab using the smell as a marker, following it to uncover its source. This led him past the first floor and down into the structure's basement, which consisted of old concrete rooms and tunnels, almost like some sort of fallout shelter. and as he passed by one room in particular, he knew he had found the source of the stench, as the smell coming from its opening was nearly unbearable. But having come all this way, he decided to push on and enter the room, turning on his camera just a few minutes later to reveal what exactly he had discovered.
来吧，兄弟们想看的，地下实验室，心理承受能力强的患有，随着镜头来。接下来大家所看到的一切物品。
As he enters the room, X shows a large pool-like structure lined with old pieces of wood, and as it comes into frame, he prefaces the discovery by saying that the contents within this pool are merely props from an old movie. He then proceeds to point the camera down inside, revealing thick green water, and floating within this water were what looked to be children, mere babies, and dozens of them decaying in the water. X then begins to gag and runs out of the room, shutting off the camera right before getting sick. The video is shocking, and as it made its way through the Douyin site, it was met with mixed reactions.
That video was wild. Now I don't want to even dive too far into that. But y'all can go ahead and let me know what y'all think about that.
Explaining this disturbing looking video.
What in the dark web? This really creepy looking video is something that I was tagged in on TikTok and requested to explain. Obviously it's an older video, it has a very creepy vibe and definitely looks like something that you would find on the dark web or like the deepest corners of YouTube. So let's just dive into the explanation here. This is actually a man and his name is Kazuo Ono. Kazuo is very popular in his own regards. In particular, he's a super big inspiration and guru in the popular dance known as Buto. This artistic and somewhat bizarre dance form is very hard to define clearly, but what can be said about it is it was created post-World War II in the 1950s, and it had several different inspirations: French mimes, surrealism, and European and French literature, meaning that this video right here, of course, is just a performance that was recorded. I mean, it is pretty interesting to watch, I can't lie, especially with the music. Makes it a lot more haunting.
So basically, that video wasn't nothing more than a performance. Come on now. Let me know what y'all think about that, man.
This is the Pitbull video, one of the hardest cartel execution videos to watch, explained. The video that I'm about to explain is extremely graphic and I don't recommend searching for it. The video begins with the man lying on his back on the ground, and two men are holding his legs open. He's being restrained. And in total there is 5 perpetrators and 1 victim. And also 2 pit bull dogs. Apparently this is the victim's punishment for allegedly doing something with a kid or to a kid. The victim is naked, and at the start of the video, the dog has done most of the work. The dog already ripped off the man's privates, and it's just a bloody mess. The dog continues to rip pieces of flesh off of where his privates used to be, and the victim is being held down, and he is also gagged so he can't scream. But sometimes the gag came loose, and at this point you could hear the man scream in pain. The victim was even talking, but I couldn't translate it, but that means he was completely conscious during this. Which I can't even imagine the pain. As a man, this might be one of the worst videos out there. Funky Town is bad, Ghost Rider is bad, but as a man, I can't imagine anything more painful than a pit bull ripping off your junk while you're still alive. Not many people mention this video with the other disturbing ones, but it's definitely up there. There's not any information about the victim after the video. I don't know if he died, but it's safe to assume he did. He lost a lot of blood, and if a dog eats your privates, you will most likely get an infection and die from it. All in all, this video is very graphic, very real, and very disturbing. Please do yourself a favor and never go searching for this video, especially if you're a man.
He keeps saying, don't go searching for it. Like he wants somebody to go searching for it. Furthermore, I don't know why they don't mention that with the other disturbing videos, because that is definitely disturbing. Maybe because they They probably banned that video. And they probably ban the hell out you if you even attempt to play that motherfucker. But let me know what y'all think about that.
So apparently this surveillance footage captured 2 crimes at once. The first crime being a kidnapping. The second is committed by this lady who spilled a gallon of organs or blood. Let me know what you think in the comments below.
Most disturbing videos in the world, part 1. Okay, so this video is titled Funky Town, and it may be the most disturbing video and thing to ever come on the internet. I can't show you the video on TikTok, but I can tell you everything about it. And word of advice, never ever look this up. So the video shows a Mexican drug cartel executing a man, in which they remove the man's face while he's still alive. And a lot of other weird and disturbing things start happening. And all while this man is getting his face ripped off his body, the song Funky Town is playing in the background, hence the video being called Funky Town.
That last video was funny as hell. Not really funny about the contents of the video, but how he was talking about Funky Town and then he played it like that's supposed to make things better. But I don't know what's up with these cartels broadcasting them handling business, but that's definitely disturbing. Just like the video before that, that lady was just staring into the camera. I don't know what that was about, but I hope I don't see her at night. Then the video before that, oh man, people is sick, bro. And supposedly the dark web got a plethora of these videos. Let me know what y'all think about them down in the comments. Alright, I don't know what in the hell was up with that last video, bro. I really don't know, bro. But it was weird and disturbing. Definitely remind me of something demonic. The video before that, the guy with the dog, clickbait, in my opinion. That's just me, though. And the video before that with that little thing on the bed, it gotta be fake because how he was just keep running up to her like that. And then it looked like it was going to bite him or something, but it didn't do nothing. He kept running up to him. So videos like that, if he wouldn't have been running up on him, I would have thought like it was real. But when they do that, make me think it's not real. Let me know what y'all think, though.
If you see a boy on a red tricycle, don't wave. don't smile, and never take the ice cream. It was August 2000 outside Cleveland. Lena and I were walking home after visiting her cousin when we saw a small red ice cream cart near the old, closed-down playground. It was strange. No music, no lights, just a boy, maybe 10 years old, standing behind it. He looked pale, with big, dark eyes and messy hair. He wore old clothes and didn't smile. The sign on the cart said, "Soul cones, $1." I told Lena it looked weird, but she thought it was funny. "It's probably just some kid playing around," she said. She gave him $1. He handed her a cone without saying a word. The ice cream was white, with steam rising from it, like it was frozen beyond normal. Lena took one bite and frowned. "It tastes like flowers and metal," she said. That night, she texted me. "I can hear a bell. He's outside. The boy is outside my window." I called her. No answer. The next morning, her window was open. Her bed was soaked, and on the floor was a red popsicle stick, standing upright in a puddle of ice. Lena was gone. No trace. A few days later, I passed the same playground. The cart was there again. The boy looked at me and scratched into the cart's side with a knife, or nail was her name. Lena. Type soul cone if you made it to the end.
Now I know that last video was made, but it's still, those videos be a little interesting. I ain't gonna lie. Let me know what y'all think though.
Videos that were deleted for being too disturbing.
Thank you so much. Sorry about that.
Yeah, this is the kitchen is outside. No here.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So kitchen is closed.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Oh my god.
See the couch over there? He's like, no.
They're actually not mine. They're showing up. Hi. Thank you. See, this is what I'm talking about. Every freaking night, like even at night, they even come and hang out here. They just stand and like. Are you for real right now?
What do you want? They told me to stop because it hurt. What is hurt?
That video with that girl, she was just looking into the camera. I ain't see nothing in the back. I may have missed it. If y'all seen it, let me know what it was down in the comments, please. The video with the cows, I don't know what that was about. How they even know the cows was out there though? But that's a whole nother story in itself. And then that last video with the guy, well, that long neck humanoid looking creature, I would have thought it was at least a bit real because the monster was looking so real. But then the way the guy yelled out like, "What do you want?" I'm like, it's not real. So when they start doing that, they let me know it's not real. So they got a better chance of fooling me without saying nothing. They should have just let the video play. They would have got me. I ain't gonna lie. Let me know what y'all think down in the comments. But they would have got y'all like they got me, because I know they would have got me.
Okay, but don't tell Steph. Oh, I'm going to rub it all in Steph's face. Do that and see what happens. Steph's coming.
Hey, Spider-Man, you got any spare change?
How about you get a job, you
What?
Summon cute furry femboys.
Release the witch! Release the witch! Gettysburg, it's not good.
Here, folks, as shoppers line up for this year's Black Friday deals.
Okay, but don't tell Steph. Oh, I'm going to rub it all in Steph's face. Do that.
Weird TikTok accounts part 3. 3 sitting in one of her videos there's a 17 that appears above her head. Some people say that it's how old she's ever since she went missing. For some reason, she has always been smiling in her bizarre videos. In one of her videos the door is open when it is usually closed. Her profile used to be something like, "I'm not kidnapped," or "just sit and smile." There's only a few videos where she is not smiling, which makes this whole thing creepy and disturbing since she is usually smiling. To do a deep dive, I will showcase
That last video, that dude remind me of a mad scientist. See how he just tweaked all them Furbies? Furbies was always weird in itself. They was always weird looking to me anyway. Anybody else feel that way? Furbies was weird looking to me. Like, I think they used to give them away in what, McDonald's Happy Meals or something back in the day. So I know I had like a couple of them, but I hated them. My mother used to keep them. And then the videos before that, bro, I don't know what is going on with these people creating these AI videos, but some of them is straight nasty, bro. Like straight nasty. But that video, the first one, when it had like the 5, yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that was more so funny. When she was like, yeah, they were about to riot, and the police came out and straight, bro, that was crazy. Let me know what y'all think about them down in the comments.
And he's I don't know what he's doing, man. Hey, Lomas, and what's the closest cross street? Right now, San Pedro. It's a red light. Holy I mean, I don't know what they're trying to do, man. Oh my God, man. You see what it looks like? It's a red Chrysler 300. Holy cow. Are they still throwing things? They're just right behind me. I don't know what they're doing, man.
Although the 911 operator was probably dispatching units as they spoke, it would have probably taken the officers at least a few minutes to arrive, which would have been extremely dangerous for Julio. Luckily, as he's on the phone with the dispatcher, he spots a cop car stopped at a traffic light and pleads for help.
They're right behind me. I don't know what the hell is going on. Oh, there's a cop right next to me. This guy right behind me. Hold on. Hey, this guy right. Are you still there? Holy. The cops are going after me now. Is the officer there with you? No, he just went on a high-speed car chase. Holy cow. Okay, hang on with me, hang on. I just found a police officer right now. I'm not sure what the hell just happened, man. How you doing, man? I'm with the 911 operator right now. Listen, I don't know what happened. I pulled out. I was gonna go get some food right there at Central, and then all of a sudden this car just pulled up right in front of me. I thought they were gonna carjack me or something, man. And they started to get out. I put it in reverse, and I just got the hell up out of there. I went down towards San Pedro at Central. Did you get a plate number or wasn't able to get it? Man, I was... That's okay, that's fine. Like I got it on camera though, bro. You got it on camera? Yeah!
Unfortunately, the suspect managed to get away from the officer during the high-speed chase, and it was never confirmed what his intentions were that night. But judging by his behavior, it's more than likely that this was an attempted carjacking. Had the officer not been at the right place at the right time, Julio would have had to stop at the red light alone, where he would have been at the mercy of the attacker. Because neither the cop nor Julio could get the red Chrysler's license plate, the Albuquerque Police Department couldn't pursue the matter any further, meaning that the suspect probably continued preying on other victims on the road. This footage was captured on a random road on the outskirts of Warsaw, Poland on March 30th, 2014. Inside the vehicle is a man and his daughter. The road is pretty poorly lit, and even with headlights on, the driver probably can't see more than 20 or 30 feet in front of him. A few seconds into the video, a car traveling in the opposite direction flashes its headlights at the driver in what appears to be a warning. Unfortunately, the driver doesn't have enough time to react, and this is where things take a pretty dark turn.
That video was crazy. That dude lucky he saw the police right there. Real spill. And then the second part, I don't know what was supposed to happen or whether they lying or not because their video cut off. But let me know what y'all think about them down in the comments.
Ay, hijo de... Güey, ¿qué pedo?
Now, this next video takes place at a museum where something pretty creepy was captured. Now, just for context, the person recording this was visiting this museum after his father came here. His dad told him that there was something off about this place. He doesn't know why, but the exhibition that's dedicated to a woman known as Maria Sabina creeps him out. Whether it's because her wax statue looks a little too real or her history with witchcraft, this whole exhibition scares him. But after watching this video that his son took, there's no way that he's coming back to this place now. The following is what is uncaptured at the exhibition of Maria Sabina. Have a look.
Ay, hijo de... Güey, ¿qué pedo?
Somehow, the wax figure of Maria Sabina comes alive. She seemingly tilts her head in a quick and sudden motion, almost as if scrutinizing the person recording her. Evidently, it scares the living daylights out of the cameraman, but it doesn't stop him from recording. He continues to film just in case she moves again, but she doesn't.
Too.
The figure is now acting as it should. Now, this whole occurrence has freaked out many viewers, including the father who came here before. However, unlike many, he started to think that maybe this was just part of the figure's design. Maybe it was meant to move as it was built that way. But according to the museum's owner, this should not have happened. If the figure isn't an animatronic or anything of that sort, then just how exactly did it move?
That's what I want to know. If it wasn't a robot, or mechanical type machine. How did it move? And the way it moved was what I would call either a mechanical movement, like a robot moves that fast and that accurate, or it was paranormal. It's the only two things I can think of. Let me know what y'all think, though.
In this eerie video, at first glance, it's just a strange chair in a dimly lit room, but something feels wrong. One viewer points out, are we just going to ignore the guy with the huge ears in the back? It's like he's silently watching, waiting for something to happen. There's a tense stillness in the room, like everyone senses something they can't quite see.
Look at
As
that
more
lady,
people watch,
she's smiling
comments reveal
hard.
growing unease. One
Right
person
there.
asks, what if she fell and her neck snapped? Another notes, every single eye in that room is thinking the same thing. It's as if everyone is holding their breath, caught in a shared feeling of dread, like they're waiting for something terrible just out of view. No one moves, but the tension hangs thick in the air. With every second, the scene becomes even more unsettling. Someone in the comments jokes, the old lady in the back looks like she's wondering how to get one of these. While another darkly observes, they're all transfixed, like they're afraid to look away. The people in the room seem almost frozen, as though the chair itself has cast some spell over them. Whatever it is, it feels like no one in that room, or even watching this video, is truly safe. It's as if this chair is more than it seems. Maybe even a trap.
Planet Earth about to be recycled. Your only chance to evacuate is to leave with us. Planet Earth about to be recycled. Your only chance to survive or evacuate is to leave with us.
This girl killed her brother and then ate his body, and this is a case you will never forget. This case takes place in Brazil on April 4th, 2019. This is Karina Rogue, an 18-year-old woman at the time who lived in Sandrook, Brazil with her mother and her little brother. Her little brother was a 5-year-old boy named Maicon Rogue, and the two got along pretty well. On April 4th, 2019, Karina's mother went to the store to shop, and she asked Karina if she can look after her little brother while she was gone. Karina's mother was shopping for well over an hour, and when she was done, she made her way home. But when she got home, she tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Confused, she shouted to her children to come open the door. However, Karina refused and replied to her mother saying that she is not going to open it. Worried about what was going on, Karina's mother called her brother-in-law, who was Karina's uncle, along with other family members, and when everybody arrived, they tried to convince Karina to open the door, but again, she refused. So, with no other options available and concerns for Maicon's safety, Karina's uncle began to kick down the door. Once inside the house, they were met with an absolutely horrific scene. Karina had done something so despicable it caused her mother to faint on the spot. She had killed, mutilated, and partially decapitated her little brother. Immediately, Karina started to attack her uncle by throwing anything she could find at him. Karina then tried to run away but was caught and the authorities were called. While she was being held down, the family dog even started to attack her, and Karina then bit the dog. When officers arrived, they found Maicon's lifeless body surrounded by black candles. And upon further inspection, officers discovered that she had eaten some parts of her younger brother's body. Karina was arrested and after some time told the police what happened. Once her mother went shopping, Karina took the opportunity to enact her twisted and planned fantasy upon her little brother. The details to this are extremely disturbing, so before I go further, this is a massive trigger warning. Karina asked her brother to come into her room and play some games, and once he was inside, Karina grabbed a pillow and pinned him down and suffocated him with it. Once Maicon was no longer conscious, she then grabbed a penknife and attempted to remove his head, leaving him partially decapitated. She also inserted the knife into his eyes and burned his feet with a lighter. And the most messed up part is she removed his genitals and then ate them. It's also worth saying that Maicon was dead by the time Karina started to mutilate and cannibalize him. Police then began to suspect that this was some sort of sacrifice and was involved with some devil worshipping. This case has little to no details and attention surrounding it, and it baffles me because this is such a messed up case in so many ways. You will forever remember this case and the horrific details that surround it. How could you kill your own brother, mutilate their body, and then eat their genitals? Absolutely messed up stuff, and Karina is currently in a psychiatric hospital and her family has no intentions to contact her there. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia and is under treatment. Rest in peace to Maikun, you didn't deserve it at all, and I can't believe stuff like this happens.
Bro, that last video, Karina, she is sick. And I don't wish jail on my worst enemy, but she deserved to rot. Seriously, if somebody don't get her and put the blade up in her for real, the way she unalived her little brother like that, that's crazy, bro. She is straight demonic for that. And the video before, with that chick, first of all, I don't know how she was even in that position for that long. That is crazy, and she deserves a round of applause. I know her husband happy as a mother. Cause bro, the way she was just posed, shorty, she the MVP. What Drake say? Get this Range Rover out of me. Straight up. Let me know what y'all think about them down in the comments though.
An analog horror that is based on this art display, a man who lathers himself in clay and continues to puncture holes into himself. Now this video was purely made for artistic purposes, however these videos add a disturbing backstory to this already creepy display.
The person you just saw in that video was convicted sex offender and pedophile Edward Mascare. Edward was somewhat of a celebrity on YouTube because of the extremely bizarre videos that he posted all the time. These videos included a lot of dancing, lip syncing, and extremely disturbing and eerie expressions like this one above. Edward was born in the year 1932 in New York City. And from a young age, Edward wanted to entertain people, and that's what led him to Kansas City, Missouri. It was in Kansas City, Missouri, where in the 70s he worked as the host of a children's program. This program, which Edward hosted until the year 1983, was called 41 Treehouse Lane. And like I said, this program put him around children all the time. Edward also hosted a late-night sort of variety show that aired on local stations, and he was known as this zany, bizarre guy with a lot of energy. Well, eventually Edward started posting videos on YouTube as he got older, and people started seeing these videos thinking they were really bizarre and funny, sharing them, and he became famous. But that's when people started to do Google searches of Edward and they found some disturbing history. You see, at one point in the past, Edward had been arrested for fondling children. And when people started to do searches of his name, they found all these records and began to expose him. Eventually, Edward couldn't hide from these accusations. He was forced to move cities multiple times, but when the authorities in Florida found out that he was posting videos, they went and arrested him because typically sex offenders aren't allowed to be on the internet, especially not posting videos which kids can easily access. So Edward was then rearrested in the year 2010, sentenced to 5 years in prison, and he died in prison in the year 2012. His YouTube channel is still up, and if you want to see some creepy pieces of media today, you can go check it out yourself.
Goes without saying, Edward was creepy. He looked creepy. Stevie Wonder can tell he was creepy. Straight up. So, and I don't know how they hired that man around the children. That's just diabolical. Maybe the higher ups got problems too. I ain't gonna dive too much into that, but y'all let me know how y'all feel about that video. Oh man, that was crazy. And then that cult video, like, he talk about the only way to survive is to go with them. Who is y'all? Like, and then don't nobody trust y'all either. You look like if somebody go with y'all, they might end up worse than staying here on Earth. But y'all let me know what y'all think. In that dog video, I kinda didn't see nothing besides the beginning. It looked like the face changed, like the hair changed. I'm not sure though. And I know they replayed the eyes, but I really didn't see nothing except for like it looked like one eye was different from the other. This eye looked way more realer. This eye looked like a dog eye. But other than that, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think though, or if y'all saw something different.
As recently as July of 2024, a fairly innocuous looking Twitter account by the name of pt.1 would, on the surface, this may just look like any other random account of your average man, with the account following the likes of Joe Rogan and posting about Elon Musk's various ventures. However, beyond the surface lies a greatly disturbing story. One that I can guarantee will surprise you. Pete posted his first tweet on July 24th, 2024. Finally, on the grid. #new account, #X, @Elon Musk. Pete's entire account mostly consists of him posting as if he were a very successful entrepreneur, such as him responding to a Gary Vee video by saying, "I've listened to it over 9 times and wrote a new business proposal while I listened." And X was a smart rebranding. In my humble opinion, it's clean, simple. Think about how much time you save during the day by saying X instead of saying Twitter. Just something to think about. Beyond this, though, he is engaged in somewhat strange behavior, such as him posting a photo of what's supposed to be his workspace, but is just an obvious AI-generated image. He did a similar thing here, where he posted what's supposed to be him in his car in New York, but again, it's just an obvious AI-generated image. The strangest case of him doing this, though, was whenever he posted a tweet showing the FaceTime call between him and his son, except his son is clearly not a real person. Further oddities include Pete responding to a tweet by the official X account, taking personal offense at them saying, "One day you're financially stable, the next you need to buy olive oil," as if they directed that tweet at him. He later posted an actual photo of him at the store, buying large quantities of olive oil, as if to say, "I'm not broke, far from it. Look at all this olive oil I can buy." He also replied to a fairly unpopular tweet posted 4 years ago, where a woman exclaimed her annoyance at people calling her instead of texting her, to which P replied with over 5 detailed responses for why phone calling is more efficient than texting, an action which I suspect is of great annoyance to this random woman. But by far, the thing that Pete does the most on this app is praise and try to establish communication with Elon Musk. He will constantly retweet and share posts praising Elon and even create strange AI photos of him and Elon together, with the caption being, "Nothing can break." As recently as July of
Worst ways people have died. Jose Melena. Jose maintenance work on a 35-foot-long pressure cooker. Assuming Jose was in Thebath room, one of his co-workers shut the door till the cooker. The cooker was then turned on to about 270 degrees. After realizing Jose was missing, the workers looked for him. After searching the rear, they opened the cooker to find Jose. Worst ways.
Damn. That's definitely a bad way to go. 35-foot pressure cooker. Damn. Dang. I feel bad for that man. Dang. Rest in peace to him. But that other guy, we just gonna call him Mr. X, since he keep on replying to everything X tweet and Elon Musk like they good friends. Yeah, bro is clearly disturbed. But y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments.
In July of 2007, WJLA, a TV station in Washington, D.C., was abrupt from its regular programming. Everything was going as usual, when all of a sudden the screen went black, and without warning, this image appeared on viewers' TVs. A close-up, grainy, black and white photo of two human heads, one smiling, one not. Viewers watching live were confused and honestly creeped out. The image was unsettling, to say the least. It stayed on screen for several seconds with no movement and no sound, just the image, before abruptly disappearing and returning to the station's regular programming. Many viewers called the station and made posts online trying to get answers. In response, the cable company ended up releasing an official statement on the incident. They claimed the image was a still frame from an advertisement for the Oprah Winfrey show that was scheduled to play later on. Basically, they reasoned that their system somehow glitched in showing the still frame.
What?
This explanation left people skeptical. Many
Would
searched
left
but
me
found no
skeptical
Oprah
too.
Winfrey advertisement showing anything resembling the still frame. It's widely believed the explanation was a cover-up for a successful hijacking of the station. Although, if this is the case, whoever's responsible for it is not identified. Viewers that had footage of the incident found that after posting them online, they were mysteriously getting taken down. There are no surviving videos left on the internet today, and so footage of the incident is now being treated as lost media. The only remaining evidence is this picture of the still frame that was shown. It's January 3rd, 2007. The Australian broadcast channel Channel 7 is broadcasting a rerun of an episode of the Canadian television documentary Mayday. At one point during the documentary, the audio suddenly cuts out and is eerily replaced with constant looping of a man yelling the words, "Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord." The visuals remain unchanged, it was only the audio that was affected. One viewer witnessing this pulled out his camera and began recording the strange audio. This would go on for over 5 minutes before returning back to the documentary's original sound. The viewer wrote, "I was channel surfing and heard this weird sound being repeated. It caught my attention as it was very odd, a bit creepy. I thought it was some kind of subliminal message, or that someone must have hacked in. I tried ringing the station for several minutes, but they never picked up." After gathering enough attention, a spokesperson for the network would make a statement. He denied the transmission being a prank or security breach, and actually claimed that the repeated line was a part of the original broadcast. He further stated that the audio actually said, "Jesus Christ, one of the Nazarenes." However, there's almost no similarity between the two phrases. People took this statement almost as a joke, considering how absurd it was. It's believed the station's audio was temporarily hijacked, and the network didn't want to admit to it. A few independent researchers began an investigation on where the original audio came from, and surprisingly, it was actually found. It turns out the audio came from the haunting video of Preston Wheeler reacting to an ambush on his convoy in Iraq.
Jesus Christ, help us all, Lord.
This attack occurred after the convoy had made a wrong turn down a dead-end street. Though Preston was fortunate enough to make it out alive. The finding of this video seemed to raise only more questions, like the reason behind why the hijacker chose to use this audio. No further information would ever be discovered. The whole situation kinda just slowly died down with no real answers. The hijacker responsible was never identified. In July,
I don't know what's up with all these broadcast stations getting hijacked. Those two videos where as though they got hijacked. That's crazy. And then they want to keep lying about what happened for real. Like, people stupid. I hate when they do that. Keep trying to pull a sheet over our eyes like we done. Like we dumb. It's crazy. But y'all let me know what y'all think about them down in the comments. That's another one down. Big back reactions. Some of the most disturbing videos on TikTok. If you like that video, please consider subscribing and hit that like button so other people that like these type of videos can see it too. And it also help out in the algorithm. I want to thank everybody for watching and remind everybody to follow me on all platforms. The link is down in the description. And a friendly reminder to all viewers, if you got videos that you want me to display on the channel and give you a shout out, please send them to my email. The email is also in the description, but you can send them to me at tayphone430@gmail.com. That's TAYPHONE 430@gmail.com. Once again, I want to thank everybody for watching and give you a special thank you if you made it to the end of this video. Definitely don't forget to subscribe and like. And I'll see y'all next time. Alright? I'm out.